Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Beth Farnsworth.
And I'm CJ Ward. We begin at 6 o'clock with an update on the Ward fire in Goleta. Sheriff's deputies made an arrest today.
The fire burned near a gas plant and homes last night. We were the first on the scene, and News Channel reporter John Palmentary joins us now live with new information. John?
And the winds were very strong last night in this area, blowing the fire through the vegetation and over to several eucalyptus trees that caught on fire. It remained within about 9 acres, but for a time they said it was very dramatic. Now this afternoon, the Santa Barbara County Fire Department told us that a 30-year-old man from Santa Barbara that had been questioned last night by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department has now been formally arrested and will be facing felony charges with regards to this fire.
There were moments where it looked really bleak, but it all worked out.
Residents saw advancing flames just before midnight in Goleta near the end of Patterson Avenue, west of the Moore Mesa Bluffs and east of Ward Drive. In strong winds, they scrambled for hoses, and some were surrounded by falling embers. Around them, new fires started. They had 911 operators on the line while aggressively spraying water on burning vegetation.
Full on, you'd hit them with a hose in the air and they weren't going out like all the way to the ground. It was like pieces of wood. We were hosing in advance and then actively hitting hot spots. They were all around us. They were glowing.
After the fire was contained by multiple fire agencies, a morning team of investigators looked over the area where the fire started by a creek embankment. It was in vegetation and not far from a Southern California gas plant. One person on her bike had an overnight picture as she was evacuated.
There's our house, there are the flames right behind there. That was 1:30 this morning.
The community alert was a banging on their door.
Well, thankfully the authorities came by and knocked on our door very loudly and woke us up. And so we just put ourselves in the car and a computer, and you don't know what to think about at that moment.
After about 9 acres burned, the fire appeared to be stopped at Moore Mesa Road.
The embers from the wind was carrying up to a quarter mile out, and so we had potential threats with these structures or being threatened, as well as we wanted to make sure we kept it out of Moore Mesa.
One of the biggest concerns was the fire getting into eucalyptus trees and burning straight up, then going across. That's called crowning, and it can spread a fire fast.
It was very impressive to see a crown fire moving through here during these type of weather conditions, and it was really dependent on the wind. The wind was really pushing it through the dead debris and leaves that were in these trees.
Extra fire crews were called in from Santa Barbara County and City, Montecito, and Carpinteria, along with the county's hand crews and help from a crew out of Camarillo. Smoldering hotspots were monitored for hours, and residents recalled just how close it was to their homes.
It went from like really, oh my gosh, this is actually happening, to it kind of died down.
So the fire crews are still on scene now, keeping an eye on this fire. It is still unclear what the suspect who has been arrested was doing in this area or exactly how the fire started. Many residents here on Moore Ranch Road are asking just that question, and they await for further details. For the rest of us, it's a very good reminder to have that ready, set, go plan in place in case we have any kind of emergency. Reporting live in Goleta, I'm News Channel reporter John Palmentary.
All right, thank you, John. Local farms and nurseries are dealing with dramatic weather changes.
News Channel reporter Christina Rodriguez joins us now live in Orcutt. And Christina, a heat wave just weeks ago and now freezing temperatures.